So, Louis, you've decided to buy a Lizardman army, and Games Workshop have decided to finally release the Battle Scroll. How's that going?
I don't know. I actually haven't looked at it that much.
Oh, really? Well, that's okay. You know why?
Because we're about to now.
I'm gonna present it to you.
Oh no!
You love a good presentation, don't you?
Wait. I'll do canned clapping.
Okay, cool. So this is the brand new Battle Scroll. This is the very professional Battle Scroll breakdown by yours truly. Louis has had such a busy day that he hasn't had a chance to read it, and the wonderful viewers at home that have just clicked the video and clicked like and considered becoming a member have thought, I don't understand any of this. What does this all mean? And I'm here to save the day.
I'm going to rip this to absolute shreds.
I think it's quite good.
I cannot wait.
Very professional. I've even made it smaller and aligned everything so you can actually see it while our faces are over it. For example, these are...
Remember that meme?
Is it too small?
No. You're good, Mikey. You're good. People can pause it and zoom in, right? Fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be reading it to them anyway. They always say this is a podcast. This is a podcast. Okay. Here we go. Louis, things to be aware of during the very professional breakdown. Battle Scroll breakdown thingy. This is a rolling document. So there's going to be a lot of the things on the document you've already seen.
Boo.
But that just means you just need the new one. Rather than needing the old one and the new one, you just need the new one. So this one supersedes the last one. That's a big word for Elmo. Supersedes.
Supersedes.
Yeah.
Isn't that how you get super plants, Mikey?
Yeah, like on Minecraft where you put bone meal on.
Yeah.
Superseding. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Putting your seed everywhere to let it grow. Anyway, this is the data they've used to come up with these changes. So these are the official win rates by Games Workshop from the 23rd of August to the 23rd of October. So 3 months of data. Well, 2 months of data. As you can see, the problematic factions, Cruel Boys, Bone Reapers, Ogres, but they're getting a new battle tome soon. Slates of Darkness, but they're getting a new battle tome soon. Hedonites, and then Gloomspikes being on like the bottom cusp now. So they have gone up a little bit. But problem factions, Beasts of Chaos, Daughters, Disciples, but they've only just got a new battle tome. Maggot King, Sons of Bahamut, also only just got a new battle tome. Bone Splitters and Seraphon, your new army.
I'm excited for the massive rolling Bone Splitters nerfs, I'm assuming, right, Mikey?
So the win rate target is between 45 and 55, which is everybody in white in the middle. And they have an inclusion target, which I thought was quite interesting. So this is like a percentage of what they expect units in a list. Like, I presume this is just for like unaligned units such as Cron Spines and Purple Suns. But they have a target of 10% of every list played is like their aim to have a unit. So if it's more than 10% of all lists, it's a problem. If it's less, then it's okay. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was really interesting.
That's a weird stat.
Yeah, I don't know where that come from. Like, the 45 to 55% win rate makes total sense, but the inclusion target, which is just weird. It feels like it's just like off the head.
That's kind of what like competitive Warhammer is based around, like wild inclusion targets. Like, oh, this is a good unit, everybody's running it.
Yeah, I suppose in Age of Sigmar it's quite interesting because you have a lot of like unaligned units, not ambles, chat, not ambles. A lot of unaligned units like Cron Spines and Purple Suns and all the endless spells, except, well, most of the endless spells, obviously. They're all like, they can be taken by most factions, or every faction pretty much. So it's interesting that they have like a target that they want to hit where it's like, if it's more than 10%, this is a problem, otherwise it's fine.
What's an I just had to Google amble. Is this some sort of 40k?
Told you chat you wouldn't know what an amble was.
Well, it looks lame. It looks
Anyway.
like a disregarded Sylvaneth model.
For context, it's a unit from Blackstone Fortress, which was in Warhammer Quest for 40k. It's from like old age lore, like Road Trader era, and that's what like a lot of Necromunda stuff is based on. Like they have a unit called an Ambot, which is a robot version. But the Amble is essentially a Legends unit, so you can't use it in match play. But we found one in the list this weekend, just gone. So we actually found two. We found two. Yeah.
So some people cheated.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just telling you the information. Anyway, but that's the underlying thing. So that's the inclusion target, okay? So here we go. We have Grand Alliance Order to start with. As you can see, there have been no rules changes from the last one. So all of the stuff is still there, such as the Thunderbolt Volley, the Stormdrake Guard, the Living City, and the Coalesced. It's all the same.
Mikey!
What's the problem, Louis?
I'm doing some Stormzy right now. I'm doing some quick maths.
Oh, really?
It's not looking good for my list. It's not looking good.
So it's badly photoshopped in Google Slides, but what I've done is I've changed the title of the faction to the title with the win rate, which I thought was interesting.
30 points!
Every Lizardman player ever, or Seraphon player ever. 30 points! What the fuck?
Do you think Element Games will refund my models now that I've built them and paint half of them?
No. If you'd left them unbuilt, then yes.
Purple Sun, you can get fucked.
So I'm going to read you my thoughts. So this is the rules changes, or the point changes. What was quite interesting, which I thought was good, compared to the 40k battles balanced data slate, there's loads of rules points changes and hardly any rules. Whereas the 40k one, hardly any rules, no point changes.
Yeah, it's because you're playing the worst game. 40k is the worst timeline, and everyone knows it.
Nah, don't be silly. But anyway, so Seraphon have gone up a lot in points, a lot of the main units. Like Croak going up has gone up 20 points, that's fine. But things like Slan and the Astrolith banner have go together, and they've gone up together like 35 points. Obviously, you've got like the Skink Priests, which are another like unit that a lot of people are taking up 30 points a model, which is horrific. How many Skink Priests have you bought, Louis?
None. I've converted 3 things to be Skink Priests. 90
points. How are you going to convert less?
Well, it's too late now. My list is 1985 before any of these changes.
Oh,
and I've
no.
got 1 Engine of the God, 1 Lord Croak, 1 Astrolith Banner Bearer, 2 Skink Priests.
Oh, dear. So your list has gone up 115. So it's 2,100 points.
Which means I can't even take out the Purple Sun and still use it.
Unlucky. So that's Seraphon. Cities of Sigmar. What I think's interesting is that, as I said, like the data, the data they're going is like that where they want things to be is 45 to 55% win rate, right? Anything above is too high, anything below is too low. But then they go, oh yeah, Cities of Sigmar, 52% win rate. Let's just drop some units.
It's probably because the inclusion of these units isn't in enough things, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe no one's taking them? And
yeah, I think so.
I've never seen any of those units on the table.
And that's what I say in the presentation, though. Jumping the gun. Most units haven't seen the table for a while, but they probably won't because they're still crap.
Yep.
So, they're all crap units, that's the thing. But the other one, Stormcast, only ever so slightly below that win rate, but also getting points drops.
Yeah, I like this, Mikey, because I have a list with all these units on it, and it's just got 2 extra units in.
I bet. Yeah, I just think it's quite interesting, because the units that are, like, really, really good, or really, really bad, in a lot of cases, barring Seraphon, I don't think they've done enough.
Grondis and Karazai are down in points.
but then the armies that are, like, fine, they're just like, oh, yeah, half the battle tome is, like, less points now. But so Cities of Sigmar, again, Stormcast Eternals have had quite an aggressive points drop, in my opinion. Like, Aventis Firestrike, no one's taking it, but minus 40 points is quite large. The 2 Dragons down 50 points is quite large as well. Yeah, I think they're still quite high. Aventis at 270 doesn't feel horrific anymore, but you're still probably going to want the Celestant Prime, because he's around the same points, right?
Yes, I'm nodding to say yes.
Thanks.
I agree with your point.
But as I said, it gives more options to players from Dominion, because a lot of these units are from Dominion, such as like the Annihilators with shields.
Mikey, we're not here to cater for the noobs that buy the Dominion box, all right?
Yeah, but all those units have come down in points.
Yeah.
What unit in this list isn't what unit from Dominion isn't on this list?
Vanquishers isn't in Dominion. Oh, that's in the thing.
Yeah, like
let me just the Knight.
The character.
Arcanum.
Great job. But every other unit, and the caster, what's the caster called?
Yeah, the night. I can't.
Oh, what's the other one called then? There's another bloke in there. The one that looks like
the Lord Imperator with his little bat and his twirly stick. Yeah, he's all right though. People use him.
Yeah, so everything else came down, which is quite interesting. I'm surprised dragons didn't get touched. Maybe up a little bit more because dragons are still really good. But there we go. But the Krondis and Karazai are probably too expensive.
I don't know. I had some lists with them in anyway, and now they're 50 less points.
Yeah, yours were very skew-less though, weren't they? They weren't exactly like.
It's gonna work again, Mikey.
Your list,
Mikey, it wouldn't fit, but now it will.
Oh really? Oh, because you had a list with the. Do you want to quickly give us a rundown about the list you're talking about?
Oh no, wait. It had an incarnate in Mikey, and I have a suspicious feeling.
Well, let's carry on.
Yeah.
So chaos. This is chaos
Here we
now.
go.
So
Big changes incoming, yeah.
They had one rules change. The Beasts of Chaos had a primal raw monstrous rampage change. Previously, it was on a 1, nothing happens. On a 2 to 5, you get a primordial call point, which is a summoning point. On a 6, you get 3. Now it's just on a 3+, you get 1. That's it.
Mikey's not enough.
No, I don't think it's enough. A couple of units got hit. The Cockatrice and the Dragon Ogres went up in points.
There's one guy who played like 15 Cockatrixes. Or Cockatrice, or 9, or a ridiculous amount that is crying now. He's like, why did I do
so good
with it?
Yeah. All fine cast. All awful.
The problem is, there's still not going to be any more points to summon, is what people do with Cockatrice.
Cockatrice, yeah. But they're not going to be able to get as many, so it's going to slow them down a little bit. Because on a 2 up, it's pretty much guaranteed, and having that chance to get 3 is really good. Now, I don't know how easy it is to summon. Let's have a look. The Cockatrice is 5 primordial points. So it's not exactly like, without being able to get like more than half on a single dice roll, is quite big, I think.
Well, you get 1 a turn.
Yeah.
You get 1 for your turn. You get to cut someone up for D3, and then you get 1 every charge phase with this.
Yeah.
Most charge phases.
So before you could get like 6 and 6 or 7, now you're going to get like 4 or 5, which is all right. And there's a chance you're not going to get one because there's a higher chance. It's doubled. The chance of not getting one are doubled. So it's a nice little change. It's not a lot, but it's nice. And I think, again, like I said, all the problem armies, that's what we're going to be saying. It's nice, but it's not enough. And all the armies that are struggling, it's nice, but not enough. So I don't think they've gone as hard because they haven't touched a lot of rules. They've just touched points, which is good, but also it's nice, but not enough. You know what I'm saying?
Get fucked, flies.
Yeah, so Beast of Chaos, they've had a points rise. Maggot King of Nurgle, sad but understandable. As I said, like, Lord of Afflictions, all the flies, and then the 2 problematic Maggot Lords have gone up 20 points. Postcode Blight Lords are 15 points a model, though, it's quite high. What are you putting the face at?
Why is the corrupt... Oh, you've even wrote, why is the Corruptor gone down?
Yeah, I did write that. You jumping ahead, Louis.
I'm trying to get ahead so I can gather my thoughts.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mikey. I'll be in the moment. Whoa, Mikey, that's really cool.
Thanks.
Carry on.
So Maggot King, 57%. All the problem... Pretty much all of these units are in every winning Maggot King list, and they've all gone up, which is fine.
That's a good point, Mikey.
Yeah, thanks. Hedonites. They've gone down. It doesn't help.
Yeah, it's still shite.
If it's broke, just make them cheaper. It helps nothing when the war scrolls are ass.
Yeah, the thing is, I've never seen even in the Slanesh players still trying to do bits. The only unit of them I've ever seen is Glutos. Glutos coming down 30 is quite a big deal, actually. Not enough that they're going to win a tournament, but
I'm not being funny. Would you rather Glutos or a Kron Spine?
Well, you can have both.
I mean, you can, yeah, but which one would you rather? Because they're very similar points cost.
Yeah, Kron Spine, but
yeah. But Demonettes is nice. Them coming down in points, they're not a bad unit. But like Slangor, I've heard are crap. Fiends are okay. But Glutos is okay. He's not great for how many points he is. But and then Skaven, a lot of things have come down. A lot of things I can get behind, but the Corruptor coming down 10 points. I don't think it makes a massive difference. It might just mean they're more likely to get inspired for being less points. But I think he's really good.
Do you think they've just... You know, they made the point earlier. I'm guessing they made a point on the article about inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
If they were truly following that, they'd have nerfed Storm Fiends.
Yeah.
They're in like every Skaven list.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the thing. I don't know if that inclusion stat of 10% of all lists is per faction or just for the unaligned stuff like Endless Spells and Krunspines.
Weird.
Very weird. But yeah, so Skaven have got like a nice buff here. I think Skaven are still really strong, but the real nerf has been Endless Spells.
Skaven have done this. They've gone.
Yeah. Like that TikTok trend
Yeah.
with the punching girl.
Yeah.
You'll get it on Instagram Reels in about 4 months.
Yeah, I'm a kid because I play AOS, but I'm not enough of a kid to have TikTok.
TikTok's great. Did you see my latest TikTok? It was good.
No.
It's got over 1,000 views already.
Has it got me on it?
Not this time. It has more views than that one, though. Shall I tell you? Or does it? No, it doesn't have more views than that one. That one has 2,000 on TikTok. A view. Than me coming on a keyboard. But yeah, so Corruptor's decent. He's come down 10. Doom Wheel come down 20. It's a weird unit anyway. Like the Death Master, no one's taken him. He's that new character from the box. And then everything else, like the Warp Sea and Vermin King, is kind of fine. But I don't even know what Vermintide is.
It's an endless spell.
Ah, right, okay. That no one took. That tells you a lot. That and also a fun one. This is the list that I took to Mancunian Carnage and did awful with.
Yeah.
It's 110 points more now because I have Protocol Blight Lords, 4 of, so that's 60 points. Lord of Afflictions, 80 points, and also the cogs have gone up as well.
If everything else in this battle scroll is ass, this is. I like this. This was needed.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah, I agree.
Know it.
I agree. It's sad, but I think
sad.
I think when you've got like 4 Blight Lords, it's not so bad. But for the lists that are running just Blight Lords and then Maggot Lords, yeah, like they're like, okay, yeah, fine. Okay, yeah, maybe there is a problem. I think when you got like 4, that's okay. Because I was running 4. But if you got an army that's spamming that one particular unit, it's clearly an issue.
Does that mean you're 1-4 now with the price increases?
What?
Does that mean you'll have to take someone out of this list and then you'll go 1-4 instead of 2-3?
No, because everyone else has got nerfed.
No, they haven't. Everyone else has got buffed.
No. To be fair, every list that I played every list that I played either didn't get changed or didn't get changed. Only mine got nerfed. Or got buffed. So I played against Daughters, not changed. Nighthaunt, not changed. Nighthaunt again, not changed. Flesh Eater Courts, they got a buff. What was the other army I played? Oh, Carriage and Overlords didn't get touched. So I just have a worse list and everyone else is fine.
1-4 Mikey.
Anyway, Destruction. Now this is like, there's quite a lot here, which is quite interesting. But the main two are that the Swamp Caller Shaman and Potgrot that can use the Poison Elixir's ability, which previously said if this unit is more than 3 away, instead of attempting to dispel an endless spell or cast any spells, they've removed that line. So now it can use its Poison Elixirs and still cast.
I mean, they've got a pretty tasty lore, but I don't think it's going to skew the meta. Like,
no, well, they've got...
makes it more usable, doesn't it?
Yeah, like, they've got some really, really good spells. Like, the basic spell, the War Scroll spell, is +1 charge and -1 charge for enemies. I'm just trying to get their lore up, because they have some really good ones, I think. Like, they've got, like, Nasty Hex, which is casting value 7, range of 12, pick one enemy unit within range. You can't use ward rolls, so turn off wards. And before, you'd be completely locked out from that, and you'd have to take Gobsprak, the big vulture, because they don't have the elixir, because the elixir's too good not to use. So you're paying all these points for a shaman to cast and use elixirs, and only using elixir.
He's a pot man, isn't
he? Yeah, exactly. So, because I mean, how many points are they? They're 105 points, which is quite cheap. Well. Which is quite cheap.
Oh, Mikey, are you going to be whapping out the points changes are all right as well.
They are, yeah, they are. We'll get there. We'll get there. But the other change was Gloomspite Gits. I haven't written this one down. But the Arachnok Spider with Spider Fang War Party now's are now battle line if the general is Spiderfang.
Sweet.
So a Raknok, I don't even know what I think it's just, I don't even know what unit it is.
It's a big spider with dudes on the back instead of a shaman, I think.
Oh, right, okay. So it will be...
You know the Oliphants from Lord of the Rings?
The Oliphants.
Yeah.
Shelob.
That. Imagine that, but a spider.
I'm just trying to find its wall scroll, but I can't see it.
It's a big spider.
The big spider. I don't know if I'm being dumb. I probably am.
I'm worried, Mikey.
I'm being dumb.
Mikey, I'm worried.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But like Gloomspite Gits, are you bored? Are you worried?
I just want to go out and play Warhammer, Mikey.
Me too. Me too.
Play some Whammers.
But the Raknok has come down in points. The Web Spinner Shaman, which is cool. But the problem is with Gloomspite Gits again. They've just gone fuck it. Everyone's down 20 points. They're just gonna die in droves. Bounty Hunters is still gonna rip them the fuck up. Because that's the main problem with Gits, I think, is Bounty Hunters is so good. But they still just die, you know?
Oh, my mate Scraggers went down in points. It's fine. I think a lot of Grot players, Gloomspite
Glitz. Gloomspite Glizzy Hands.
Gloomspite Glizzies. I think the GGs will be all right for getting for having such a what is quite frankly a massive points increase.
Yeah, they're probably they're easily going to get another unit, if not two.
Yeah. And you can't complain at that.
No. I'm just saying I don't think it does a lot to the army. I don't think it's like, oh yeah, Gloomspite Gits are going to shoot in shoot in win rate now. They're just like, bring more stuff that will still just die.
Have you ever played against Spider Rider spam?
No.
Oh no, Mikey, you're about to, I think.
I'm gonna have to take Bounty Hunters then, aren't I?
Spider Riders are on mounts, mate, they're not galley vets.
That's true. That's true. But Cruel Boys, as I said, we mentioned the poisons and elixirs, which I think is a massive change because again, this character you're always taking for the mortal wounds because he makes a mortal wound on 5 rather than 6s. And now you can cast with them as well, which is really good. So you can get your Gut Rippers doing mortal wounds on 5s, and then give them +1 charge. And they've come down in points as well. Gut Rippers have come down 20 points. The Snatcher Boss and Slugbreaker Beast is come down in points as well. So he's the one that gives out the 6s to 2 mortal wounds. He's come down in points. The Swamp Boss, which no one was running, has come down a whole bunch. He's come down 30 points. So he's the other one, but he's like the kill boss on top, which is kind of fun. He's like the character version, the name character version. Does he still get
the same buff around them or not?
No, he doesn't do the same, I don't think.
No one's taking him.
He's kind of cool though. Was he Swamp Boss? Swamp Boss Skundrek. So he has like Betmaster. Let's have a look.
You had a vulture as well when we started playing, right? And you.
I've got a vulture, yeah. I just haven't painted it. So he has Betmaster instead of what he normally does. Oh no, he does do that. He does have Slugbreaker Venom. Ignore me.
So he's the same points now. You just can't take an artifact on him because he's got a name.
Yeah, so he says add 1 to number of mortal wounds caused by venom encrusted weapons. So yeah, it's the Slugbreaker that does that. The actual mount itself that gives out that rule. But he has he's the same cost as the other one and has a few extra rules essentially. He doesn't have the cage though, like the other one does, where it's like at the end of the fight phase you can choose a random model and it dies.
Get him a cage.
Yeah, but now he has, if this unit's part of your army, after deployment, but before the first battle round begins, you can pick 1 friendly Hobgrot unit to be counting crew and 1 friendly unit to bet. You cannot pick this unit or the counting crew to be the bet. If the bet is the first friendly unit to be destroyed during the battle, you can pick one extra Triumph enhancement. And even if the points of the total is not less than that of your opponent's army, the unit chosen from the benefit of Triumph must be either this unit or the counting crew. So basically, if a unit dies first that you chose, so if you just like a suicide unit, you can use an extra Triumph on him for free, even if you're at the same or more points.
All the Hobgrots.
All the Hobgrots, yeah, which you won't, but that's kind of now. Well, it's one of the Triumphs. Ignore Battle Shock. So that's not too bad on the Hobgrots, especially if you reinforce them, make them a big unit of 20 or something. Oh, he does have expert snatch and grab. He's literally the same. He just has an extra rule. Yeah, he just has an extra rule. That the bet. So he'll just take that one now.
But you can't give him an artifact.
No, that's true.
He's
Or the mount trait, I guess.
Oh, command trait. No.
Yeah. Okay, that's quite interesting. So yeah, that's quite cool. As in, so like the Cruel Boys nerfs are like Cruel Boy buffs are very welcome. I think a lot of Cruel Boy players will be happy because all the units you're already taking just got better and they came down in points. So,
Mikey, I'm already getting beaten by Cruel Boys. So
really,
yeah, Magma Josh just get shot to death, don't they? I charge one in. Is 18 mortal wounds on the charge.
Unlucky.
Wicked. Just what I want.
Yeah,
I'm worried about the B skewer Killbow being so cheap.
Yeah, I think it's good that it's cheap because it is one model and it's quite it's got like a very not a selected target. It's one use only, right? It kills monsters. That's kind of like its plan. Whereas the other unit, which is 10 points more, is like good at killing a bit of everything. Whereas the Manskewer Killbow was designed to kill monsters. So it's nice that it's cheaper. And it used to be 150, I think. It was when it first came out. It's come down twice since. So I think it's good that it's cheaper. But for you, particular, playing Magmas.
Well, we might see what were the last two, but Ogres are on the horizon. They've got a lot of monsters, so if they're strong, that might come out.
Yeah.
Gargants have come back out.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna get their Gargants back out.
Yeah, with these, I'm really excited to play. I'm really excited to start painting some Cruel Boys again because before it just felt like a pointless task. But it's just like I'm painting an army to die. Whereas now I'm like, you know what? I could give it a good go. I could give it a go.
You know, at least if they'd have put the Bolt Boys down, all hell would have been on. They'd have been like, right, this
unleash hell, you could say.
Now. Yeah, and you'd be like, phew.
Yeah.
Jesus. But most lists are going to be getting 40, 60 points back, something like that.
Yeah.
You take one of the bosses, and you have to take, 1 or 2 units of Gut Rippers. So.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I guess we'll see if it's enough, right?
No, it's cool. But then Big Warg and / Bone Splitters. The Wargog Prophet's gone up 20 points.
Good, fuck him.
When you're taking 1, that's fine. Totally understandable. But if you're taking like 5, you being that guy, then yeah, unlucky. It's understandable. It's such a good unit. But just one with the artifact at 20 points is like, yeah, okay, whatever.
They should have changed the pissing rules. This is one that needs a rule. Like the
Probably,
price change doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You could end it. Like, you'd pay 250 points for that Wargog Prophet.
Yeah.
Because he could kill easy that.
Yeah, I said the first time I used him, he killed like 1,000 points, He killed Kragnos and then like a unit of Bolt Boys and stuff like that. It was dumb. It was so dumb. So like the Wargog being only 170 points is fine. You're still going to take one. But I say if you're taking 5, it's a big hit. But if you're going to take 1, you'd probably be able to fit it just because of you might lose your Triumph now. You know what I mean? Like it's that minuscule. But the big,
I don't think that matters.
Yeah, but the big one is the big stabbers have gone up 20 points to 100, and the Savage Ball Boy Maniacs, which I believe the casters, the Maniacs. I've got
2
10
weapons instead of.
Oh right, okay.
Instead of the shield one, I think.
Yeah.
Maniacs 40k thing, right? For casters.
They've got weird boys in 40k.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Now I have to check because I'm like, Mikey best not be right and me be wrong.
Yeah.
Because then I have to quit.
You'd have to quit. Yeah. Watch it. Let's hold out, chat. Do I look at it on here?
Yeah. They're not casters. They just got 2 weapons.
Okay. Crazy. Close one. What are they called then? The Savage Summit? The Summit on Ball Boy, a character, right?
Yeah, it'll be a weird knob.
That makes sense.
Or a weird boy.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm painting an army to die. That's how I felt about my Imperial Guard before Hammer of the Emperor and Hammer of Contempt. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing worse than when you're like trying to paint an army because you like it and you're like, I'm just gonna lose every game. So
what are those words?
Exactly. And finally, for the Grand Alliances, we have Death. They got 0 rules changes, but they got all the points drops ever.
These are good. These are good. No one's taking Terrorgeist at the moment.
No, like Flesh Eater Courts again, quite a good army right now because they've got some really nice buffs. and they got a lot. They got the Ward army wide, and they got a lot of point drops in the last General's Handbook. But they've dropped the Royal Terrorgeist and the Royal Zombie Dragon, which I believe are the ones without the riders, which you weren't really playing.
It's the same in the Soul Blight book.
Yeah, they've gone down exactly so they're all the same points now. It's the same war scroll anyway, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But speaking of Soul Blight, Games Workshop wants you to buy all the kits because they brought down the White King, which have been peddling that model for like 20 years now, and the Bloodseeker Palanquin, which I had to Google search, and it's the opposite of the Mortis engine with all with all the vampire ladies on it.
Soul Blight might as well have not had any points changes.
Yeah, I mean Neferata down 20 points is kind of nice, but again, she doesn't really see play, so. But maybe will this make her see play? Probably not. But if you were playing it, it's nice.
She's got one build where you take a shit ton of Blood Knights, but
yeah.
It probably won't make a difference. 20 points isn't enough to get anything else usually, is it?
No, exactly. And then finally, I'll see out Bone Reapers. I've said Immortis and Necropolis are like sleeper units when bounty hunters go. Because they are really, really good. I played Logan with them, and he had like a horrific amount of attacks with them. And I was very sad I didn't have bounty hunters on them. So, and then Mortek Crawler, the big catapult, is 200 points now. But I think when it first came out, it was a horrifically good unit, and people taking 3. But now it's kind of like,
This is probably one of the better things because I don't think Oziark are that bad.
We got 42% win rate according to Games Workshop.
Yeah,
which is the lowest on the chart.
I don't think they're that bad, and this is literally all. This is have some points off everything you'd use.
Yeah, you're probably not using the Morghast.
Guard aren't there? But...
You're probably not using the Morghast, but they've come down in points, which is cool. The Harvester's pretty good, but it's 200 points. It's cool. You're mostly taking the basic guides, aren't you, really? And then a couple of flavor units. So your flavor units come down in points. It might mean you get an extra endless spell or something with Archon, but not a great deal.
Spells haven't changed, have they, Mikey?
The final slide, universal stuff. The Purple Sun has been given, like, it's officially in the Battle Scroll, so it's just been carried over. So the Purple Sun hasn't changed. But the Kronspine Incarnate has gone up 80 points. Cogs has gone up 30 points. Lauchon up 20. Purple Sun up 20 already. And Umbral Spell Portal up 10.
I mean, yeah, they're all needed, but they feel bad.
You're just annoyed because you had the Incarnate and a Purple Sun on your list, didn't you?
No, I have the list I'm running at a tournament the weekend is illegal if they push that forward. So
unlucky.
Let's
Why did you buy a Seraphon army in the month of the Battle Scrolls coming?
No comment.
I've took some snippets from the article as well, these universal options. It says, last month we tweaked the Purple Son of Shaiish, and we're happy to report that it's seen a 35% reduction in inclusion. It's now sitting at 15.1%. That means 50% of good lists were taking a Purple Sun.
Yeah, because it's good.
Which is just bonkers. Like 20 points and article and everything. It was in half of the list in Age of Sigmar. That's what they've just said, which is crazy. And then finally, they've got the Kronspine Incarnate. It's currently included in 12.2% of rosters, so that's their inclusion above their inclusion target. But the average win rate of armies which included it was 58%. So just by taking the Incarnate, your average win rate was 58%. That is horrific.
You should you might have to use one now that they've taken your fly crutch out of the game, Mikey.
I know. I'm gonna have to. It's bullshit. I'm gonna have to borrow yours. But yeah, isn't that just mad?
8 points is a lot.
Isn't that
8 points is like a 20% point increase.
Yeah, it is. I just thought that was crazy. Like the fact that 12% of lists were just automatically getting 58% win rate because they had an Incarnate in there, and that just shows that it probably needed to go up. But my thoughts: any changes welcome, but it's still not enough. Nice, but not enough. I was talking to Toby earlier, and he said at 600 points, I'd still take an Incarnate.
Yeah, but Toby needs that sort of crutch to win games.
Yeah, but at 600 points,
in the list.
Team England TJ said that at 600 points, it'd still be good.
the armies that can abuse the fuck out of it, they've done nothing too, and they've done nothing to the mechanic that makes it horrible to play against.
Yeah, I think mechanically it needs a change. As I said, like my suggestion is just one way to make it easier to kill. Maybe make it wild if you kill the caster, or the not the caster, the bound hero. Make it drop a level because it's gone wild, so drop a level automatically. Or wounds carry over, so like if you roll under, they just keep going, which should be quite interesting. Which means it automatically drops next turn. You don't have to like get it to like 15 wounds. They happen to roll 16 on 3 dice or whatever. You have to roll over, don't you? You get it on 16 on 3 dice, and then you have to start again, and you'll have less stuff because it gets a chance to kill you then. I think if it had carried over, that'd be quite interesting.
I should have waited, Mikey. I should have waited.
You should have waited.
Hey guys, does anyone want to buy a Seraphon army by the Hellstorm Louis? Guys.
It's pretty grim. But I suppose the other thing they have, because they've nerfed a lot of the most used endless spells, I don't think it's enough, but the fact that the Kronspine has a few less endless spells to go and eat afterwards because they're up in points is probably good as well. That's probably going to give it a minor nerf, but I don't think it's enough because there's so many other cheap endless spells that they can take.
Yeah, you'd never make it eat these if you were doing an abuse list. You'd make it eat something worth 40 points.
Yeah, exactly.
That's on loads less.
Yeah, but you're just getting less stuff in your list, which is good. So that's the generic stuff. So finally, we've got things that aren't here that probably should be. Arcane Tome has not been touched.
I've got no problem with Arcane Tome. Haters gonna hate. Let people cast spells. Stop being boring. Next, come on.
Is that it? No, I think it's always the most taken universal artifact.
Surely they'd include that in their inclusion.
They haven't mentioned it, but in the video that they put out, they said Arcane Tome is on their watch list. So they obviously know about it. I'm just surprised they've not done anything here.
How powerful can a Mystic Shield be?
I suppose it's stuff like endless spells and stuff like that, the way they can interact with there. And again, if it's always been taken, then maybe it's a problem. But the other thing that's missing is more Beasts of Chaos point increases, but a lot of it has been dealt with the Disciples of Zinch book, because obviously we're relying a lot on the Zangor side of it. But because the Zangor have come out in there and been changed, then they're not like interacting with the Beasts of Chaos quite as much. But have you got any more thoughts about the Beasts of Chaos changes, or what they should have been? What should have gone up in points?
Whoa, Mikey.
What?
Why is there a bullet point on there that says Magma Drop point?
I'm asking you about Beasts of Chaos.
Right, there's a fundamental problem with Beasts of Chaos, and it is the points, but it was the summoning. The summoning might be better now, but a lot of it was the points increase for points for a lot of the army. When you see a beast army across the table from you, you're like, why have you got 4 times as much shit as me? And a lot of it is because you have so many models, you can play the game, play the mission a lot better. Yeah,
because you have so much more redundancy.
You know it's a problem when Toby gets drawn against a decent player and sees the draw and goes, well, I can't win this.
Yeah.
And if someone at the highest, he's going to hate this, at the highest level of play, sees a draw and goes, there's no fathomable way I can win this, then that's a problem army.
And he did lose.
Yeah, and he lost twice. Because he lost in the first 10 minutes because he knew he'd lost and went, why don't we re-rack and play a different game, and then lost again.
Oh, no.
And that was at a tournament.
Yeah.
The same guy also absolutely destroyed me.
He won the event, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And again, even he would say that the army's dumb.
Yeah, I think they probably should have put a lot more up in points rather than just 2 units.
Yeah.
Like, Dragon Ogres and Cockatrix are good.
Dragon Ogres are the core of every list. That's understandable. And Cockatrix is the core of one madman's list.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to do something more fundamental. I've got no idea what it should be, but they need to address the army as a whole.
Yeah.
Which is an issue.
Yeah, exactly. Gnashing Jaws, a popular endless spell, hasn't been touched. Cheap.
Fine. I think again, it's probably not hit their inclusion target, but I know the gnashing jaws can be proper
really, really
horrible in the right armies that can slow movement and do manipulate your movement characteristics.
Especially about Lumineth as well coming out and they're being able to do it. So
or moving 4 in the first place.
Yeah. Magma Drops probably need to go up in points because every Fire Slayer list that wins is Magma Drop spam.
Yeah, it's because it's the only thing that's playable in the list.
Well, so maybe some other stuff should come down.
Yeah, you know? bring the other stuff down. Don't put the Magma Drops up.
No, Magma Drops should go up as well.
They're still not winning events though, really.
They win quite a few, just not when you're playing.
Yeah, and if I can't win with them, they're fine.
Fine.
If an average player is doing averagely with them, it's a perfect army.
True. And the final one, maybe some more faction rules changes to see a huge shift. Like this is like again like it's very hard to just specify what this could be, but I'm surprised there are not as many rules changes. It's pretty much all points, which is welcome, but it's like we're not going to see like a huge meta shift. We're just going to see a slight change, I think. Like, again, maybe addressing Beasts of Chaos, maybe the way they summon stuff, maybe that could have been nerfed a little bit, so they're bringing so much stuff anyway. Do they need to bring on more quite easily? They've limited the amount of primordial call points you can get for the Monstrous Action, but maybe they could look at, as a whole, be like, all right, okay, what we're going to do is going to bump every unit up by 2, for example, just to make it a little bit harder. Maybe like I'll see out Bone Reapers, maybe a little bit more interactive, such as like redeploy with RDP points would be quite interesting because they just don't interact with that at all, which is kind of shy. They have a really good RDP thingy from the White Dwarf, that +1 damage or whatever it is. I can't remember what it is, but it's really good. Logo's using it every turn. I'm like, yeah, fair enough, that's broken. But like they can't use redeploy and stuff like that, which is like it's just a bit weird that they just don't interact with that yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Not all, they shouldn't get all the command points, but they should be like, okay, yeah, they can move 2 inches or something. I don't know. They can shield wall and shuffle an inch every time a unit comes close. I don't know, because it's essentially they don't get command points to get Relentless Discipline points, so they don't interact with the game quite the same. But then they get loads of Relentless Discipline points, so you don't want to be like, oh yeah, can they just use command abilities as normal from the core rules? Points compared to everyone else who gets like 3. So I think they like need a little bit of a tweak where they go, maybe they can use redeploy. You can use it once per phase, once in the movement phase, and then you can move like 1 inch or 2 inches. It'd be like a little something, you know?
Yeah, you're right, and I don't think the battle scroll is there to rewrite the game. I think it's there to put like plasters on stuff that needs fixing now.
Yeah, exactly. So
I've sent you a cheeky little image, Mikey.
Oh, really?
On Discord and my.
This is what you've sent me.
Yeah.
So we've got Cities of Sigmar, meh. Stereophon, scribble them out. Stormcast, scribble.
Green. It's green for that's a good change for the meta.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was like, no, ignore it. Stormcast, good. Beast of Chaos, pink. Can you define pink for me?
Not enough.
Not enough, right,
not
okay.
Enough.
Hedonites, meh. Maggotkin, meh.
Oh, no. Sorry. Maggot King should definitely be green.
Right.
That's a really good.
Skaven, meh.
Yeah, like what the Hedonites, the Skaven, the Flesh Eater Courts. No one's gonna fucking use half of that shit anyway. Like,
no.
You might as well just not put it in there.
Yeah. LCR, good for the meta. Soul Blight, not enough.
They've not done enough.
Glue Spike, it's not enough.
That number there needs to be 90% reduction in points.
And then Oryx and additional profiles good for the game. Sad for your wallet.
Yeah, but the things that are sad for what I play, I like them because they're better for the game as a whole, and I am an adult enough to understand that, you know. But does anybody want to buy a Seraphim?
There you go. That's my entire presentation, by the way. What do you think?
I think it needed more like transitions where like the screen goes in and then comes back out and like spins in like newspaper articles.
Yeah, maybe that would be quite good, but I did not have that. So
no, it's all right. It's all right, mate.
Overall,
thanks.
Closing thoughts. I think it was a lot better than the 40k version. But I would have liked to see, because I always want more.
Of course it is.
I wanted to see more rules changes, which would have been cool. I think points changes are good, but like rules changes, like they did with the first one, such as like half changing Stormcast and Cities of Sigmar and Seraphon. That is like really good because that creates a really big meta shift. But maybe they're holding out for the next one with the new General's Handbook, rather than being like, yeah, we'll do it in the middle and then do it again in 3 months. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're doing like big change, points change,
Well, we
big
had two
change, and new
changes,
handbook.
Yeah, we had 2 changes, didn't we, with the last one?
What's
Did
that?
we get we had a battle scroll like this, but we also had that hunters thing.
That was the previous one. So that was that was before this came out.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is this is the same as adding the hunters, which kind of did a points change without doing a points change. Like you know, it's kind of the same thing without changing loads of the rules. They added a little
the victory point change, yeah.
Yeah.
So whereas this doesn't feel quite as like impactful as those two.
I don't know.
Like that one, the Gods and Monsters, which is the first one they did, was really, really good. Adding all the VP for killing stuff. And then they got rid of all that and added rules changes, like the last one. And then this one, they've not really done much rules change. Again, the Cruel Boys one, really, really good. To be fair, the rules changes they have made are really, really good. And I think that's probably why a lot of people are kind of saying, we want more rules changes, because it feels really good. But points changes is a bit like, we'll see. Because a lot of it, like some lists, like Seraphon, like your Seraphon list, has been nerfed to High Heaven. Did you have a Cronspine in your list as well? Okay. So it's been nerfed to High Heaven, and it's like 100 points over. Like my list, arguably not broken, but it's 100 points over now.
Yeah, but
which is
arguably not broken.
Which is fine.
Shut your face, Mikey.
Which is fine. I think a lot of the units are still still worth it. I don't think they've priced anything out. Even the Cronspine at 80 points extra, I don't think they've priced anything out of the game yet. Out of the meta game. It's just armies that don't have that will definitely feel the change, whereas armies that are taking them, playing against other armies that are taking them, probably won't feel the difference. Because if you've got like 2 armies and they've both got Cronspine, there's like no difference to that game, you know. But if you're playing against a Cronspine without a Cronspine, you've got an extra 80 points against them, which is quite big, depending what faction you're playing. If you're playing with Seraphon, then you're pretty sad because they've still got more points than you. Haven't they, Louis? They've still got more points than you.
I spent half my tournament last weekend with the Cronspine just sat on points and not killing stuff.
Yeah.
Now
best 500 points you've ever spent.
Of your army, like you're like, maybe I don't need it. Maybe I could just put, I don't know, another magma drop and have some points left over.
Maybe they need to go up then. Maybe they need to go up. So, why do they do so many points changes in the war score but not in the data slate? It's 2 different teams, don't forget. It's not like the same team.
AOS is, I'll take this one, Mikey, because AOS is better. 40k sucks. Change for the better. A change to AOS is a change for your mind, your body, and your soul.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Louis. Anyway, this part of the video is going to stay up. So, any closing thoughts?
Yeah. Does anyone want to buy a Seraphon army?
Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.